question includes, what is a difficult audience? How can an audience be difficult when you're operating at your highest level of consciousness? Hit the easy button. When you snooze, you lose. It's never a great idea to sleep on yourself. That's boring. Start soaring. Victor will be evaluated by Mateos, who will not be evaluating Victor on his content, but on how he handles his disruptors. Please help me welcome Victor with easy button, por favor.
Rest in peace to my brother Will. Yeah. Free my brother Ace. I love you, bro. Man, the system been fucked up to you, it's been fucked up to us, but we got this. All in.
Blessings on blessings on blessings. No longer do I be stressing. I'm in the crib reminiscing of a time once where I had pent up aggression. Lessons on lessons on lessons. I had to let that shit go.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Have you guys seen the movie Click? Adam Sandler? Alright, the premise of it is he goes to Bed Bath & Beyond and he goes to the Beyond section. And in the Beyond section, he meets a guy named Morty. And this guy says, I got a remote that can control time, but I'm going to give it to you, can't return it. Alright? So he gets this remote. That's the coolest thing, right? You could rewind, you could fast forward, you could pause. You know, you could stop someone who's over talking and just pause them. Super cool remote. If you mess up, you could rewind. Everyone would want that, right? But there's a catch. What's the catch? You can fast forward and go through things that you don't want to do. For example, Mary, you work with me at Collins Aerospace. I would fast forward through work.
No, you can't do that. It's just not the right thing to do.
I would fast forward, and school. School is boring. But the catch was how you operate in your regular, everyday habits.
This is gonna be boring!
Hey man, I mean, it might be boring, but if you actually listen, it's not gonna be that boring. But I do have question and answers, so you can leave feedback at the end. If I'm boring, if you have any critique, you can let me know, because I would like to have my speech more exciting. Thank you, Mike. But yes, with this remote, he fast forwards, but prior to him getting the remote, he put work before his family. So when he fast forward in time, he put work first. He fast forwarded 10 years. He had a wife that loved him, but he put work first. And they were having arguments. He fast forward 10 years. He was the CEO of a company, super rich guy. He should be happy, right? And guy was miserable. He was overweight because he put his job first, didn't care about his health, wasn't married, probably he looked lonely. It goes from a happy, funny movie to a sad movie if you ever seen it. Great movie though, Click. And the reason I mentioned Click is because...
Victor, I am not sure whether you are talking to me because sometimes you walk out of the screen and I don't think you are actually talking to me.
I'm sorry I hurt your feelings. I will be aware of that. Thank you. And with this, the reason I mention that is because we naturally do that, if you haven't realized. When you're making most decisions that you make per day, you're not even aware of the physical things that you do. I see some of you guys look a little puzzled. I'm aware of everything I do. Here's the explanation, right? If you're going inside and you're thinking about, man, work really stressed me out today, I can't deal with these people, and you're thinking about that, but you're putting your stuff away, are you going to remember where you put everything? Well, you're there, right? You were there when you put it down. How come you don't remember? That's the same thing that Click, the movie, was essentially illustrating, is that we make a lot of decisions on autopilot, but it's autopilot at our base level habits. And we're not even aware of that. We're in a different world. How many of you guys have been stressed out before? How many of you guys have faced anxiety? How many of you have driven somewhere and you're so lost in your thoughts that you don't even remember driving home? That's what it's really about. The movie Click. And we do that on an everyday basis. Now, we are at a Thai temple, Buddhist Thai temple, and they teach meditation. Meditation helps you to become aware of yourself so you avoid those mistakes. But basically, Adam Sandler in the movie, he was the guy, he limited himself. He wanted to work on his family, but because he used the remote, he ended up becoming rich because it went with his base decision-making criteria while he would fast forward. Now, the reason I say that is because, sorry, Julie. The reason I say that is because, what if there really was an easy button? You know, what if there really was an easy button? I know, you're looking a little confused. There really is. I'm going to go into it. I'm going to go into a little science, if you will. But we operate based on the habits that we condition. Now, a lot of those habits aren't ideal, but we go by that. We're so busy thinking about, okay, I need to get a promotion. I need this person to like me. I need to make sure I'm wearing the same color socks. You know, we're so busy thinking about things that don't even really matter that we're not present and aware. Right? Right or wrong? But a lot of the things that the habits that we develop, a lot of it was conditioned into our minds, our programming, through fear, control. You don't do this, I'm not gonna love you. If you don't change who you are, I'm not gonna love you. Well, that's not what love is. You know? And what that fear does is it paralyzes us and keeps us at a certain method of operation. But if you look at a child, right? A child doesn't have any of the conditioning that an adult has. I will say the inferior programming. A child comes just straight pure. They are pure. And they are happy. One thing children can teach us is happiness. And when you use happiness, joy, peace as a decision-making criteria, you can begin to operate on automatic. But you're not operating on automatic like the movie Click. You're operating on automatic close to a state of perfection with understanding of Christianity, Buddhism. You put those things together, you understand we're created in the image of perfection. But you have to let go of the mechanisms that that's been programmed by society to why you operate. You have to let that go. Now, lately I've been operating more in a flow state, and it has just been lovely. One of the things about flow state, though, is that you have to use joy and happiness as a gauge, because I can't say his name, Charlie Sicknecky High. I can't pronounce his name. I'm sorry. But there was a guy that did research on flow state, and he said people that are in flow state are joyful, they're happy. But there's a sense of, like the click remote, just like the click remote, it's like time flies when you're having fun. So there you go, that's fast forward. If you're having fun, you don't feel bored. You don't feel like time is just moving slow. But if you're bored, whether that be school, a job, this Toastmasters meeting is always fun. I'm never gonna be bored here.
Well, I have a question. You mentioned fear.
How
can I
questions are gonna be for after it, but yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Questions. There's gonna be a question and answer afterwards. So write down the questions you have.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Julie. You're awesome. All right. But yes, once you let go of the kind of base or conditioned programs, for example, think about it, right? What is computers always doing?
Right.
True. It's very true. Wasn't the answer I was looking for, but that's true. It's always developing. It's always advancing. Therefore, knowledge is always advancing, but we still use outdated thinking mechanisms when naturally we already operate at perfection. Now, I'll give you guys an example. When I was around 5 years old, I was playing Mortal Kombat, and I was trying to memorize a button combination, maybe a fatality, I don't remember. But I just kept repeating this button combination in my head while I was playing. And for some reason, I was playing with skill like Ronaldo. I don't understand. Nobody could get the ball from me, but I was only 5 years old, so they didn't want to make anything of it. But I was beast mode. No one could say anything. And I don't have that skill normally. That doesn't make any sense. Normally...
Are you getting this stuff here? Are you getting this? Is this here? Are you able to follow this?
Yes, I'm able to follow this. But I was doing this, and then another time I tapped into flow state. And in flow state, when you tap into a flow state, it's basically a meditative state. But it's a meditative state while doing an activity. Meditation isn't just to sit there and chant mantras all day. It's to actually help you get to a higher level of awareness so you can operate at flow state all day using your brain that's created in God's image. That's what it does. And this is how you can essentially use an easy button, is by using joy as a factor. Now, how many of you have seen The Secret on Netflix? Documentary? No? Okay, well, there's a book called The Law of Attraction. It's a spiritual book. And in the book, the premise of it essentially is to use joy as a gauge in decision making. Now, I'm not saying go and be reckless and get a DUI. That's not joy. That's, you're running from something. But when you make a decision, if that decision, when you're making a decision, it makes you feel at ease, peace, it's a good decision. If you feel fear or stress, it's a wrong decision. And once you start to become aware of that in the mind, it allows you to just let go. I don't keep my guard up around anybody. I don't. But best believe, you mess with me, there's a scorpion coming right after it. But that allows me, because that's how we're naturally supposed to operate. We are naturally supposed to operate close to the order of perfection. Buddha discovered that. Christ, he operated that. Spiritual teachers was teaching us that we all have that ability. Right? And you have to let go of the patterns, the habits that are counterproductive, the fear, anything that holds you back from your highest potential, because you are already at your highest potential right now. You have to learn how to tap into it. But think about this. The same neurons that Michael Jordan or Jackson has in his brain at 3 years old is the same neurons that he has in his brain when he's a legend. So you, all of you, have infinite potential in you right now, beyond celebrities. I guarantee you, I can show you, that you guys, even you Zoom people, that you guys are more gifted than celebrities or people that you highly admire. But once you realize that, it's only growth from there. So fellow Toastmasters and guests, and to my disruptors, you guys are awesome. It is time to stop letting limitations be your guide. It is time to understand what we have, the gift that we are all endowed with, that is our birthright, so that way we can help each other grow and become the best versions of ourselves. So we don't have to be stressed out. We can hit the easy button to the whole world. Madam, oh wait, no, sorry. Question and answer. period, because the thing did say that. So, any questions, comments, concerns?
How do I get rid of fear? That's what my question was.
How do you get rid of fear? Well, once you truly understand your connection to God and the divine, fear dissipates. Fear does not exist when you are fully aligned with your higher self. That's how you eliminate fear. I'll go into that deeper. Yes, I am that spiritual. Anyone else? Go ahead. What's up? What's your name, brother?
Thor.
Thor. Oh, nice. You look like Thor too, man.
How do you use these tools to diffuse disruptors?
How do I use these tools to this? Oh man, that's a funny thing you brought that up. Go into a little bit of my healing. Now, this part of my healing was operating at truth, but letting my soul make decisions, not letting some expert with a piece of paper tell me how I should behave or how I should not behave. Now, I've been psychologically abused. I've been bullied a very long time, even recently, and it hurt because people will tell me, well, to be a good person, you have to turn the other cheek. You have to let abusers abuse you. And I kind of went by that. But once I started, and this, these are just cool disruptors, but for the real disruptors, it's like, okay, I'm going to be the most loving, kind-hearted person you meet, but you mess with me, there's a Mike Tyson punch, metaphorically, not physically, because I'm not trying to go to jail, but best believe you will know that you picked the wrong one to mess with. But there's different types of disruptors. For mean disruptors, that's the thing. For other disruptors, it's like, hey man, listen, I have a path that I'm on. I don't have time to be chilling, wasting time. Those are for the other type. There's annoying disruptors that are not harmful, and then there's harmful disruptors. So, there's your answer. All right, I am out of time. Madam Toastmaster.
Hitter, my main razor quitter, even though my life once resembled a shitter. Struggle and stutter with words that I utter, but speeches clean out cause I don't like to litter. Blessings came later, I age in reverse, had to die to myself, now I cruise in a hearse. Ain't there's no curse, so prepare and rehearse, so you dropping that mic when you finish the verse. Why will I finish? I'm guided to grow, and this smile I keep showing, cause now I am knowing that my connection is what's me perfection, and it all boils out to the seeds I've been sowing. Spiritual might feel the haters too tight, fail to follow my flight, cause I hold my heart light. Forget all Friday, will fill you with blight, and just fog up your vision till you got no sight. I'm my biggest fan.